Welcome to Turning Moments into Movements, where each week we explore simple but powerful wellbeing tips to help you live a balanced and fulfilling life. My name's Leanne Ross, your host and the founder and coach of my business, Happyluia, and I will be taking you through today's 15 minutes of insight and inspiration. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Turning Moments into Movements. So what we're going to be covering this week is the 3 ways to elevate your life. And this is based on a concept actually from a book that I had read called the 5am Club. And the 5am Club by Robin Sharma. It's quite a lengthy book, it's quite quirky, I really enjoyed it, but if you want the shortened down version, it's basically covering 3 different ways to elevate your life and really get the best out of your mornings. And what I really like about it is it's very clear how to use these concepts very well within the book. But what I would encourage you to do is be as flexible with this concept as possible. Make it work for you. Because what I find is when I start harping on about the 5am Club, people panic. People will say, Leanne, I'm not going to get up at 5am. I'm just not going to do it. So I'm here to tell you that you don't have to. I promise you, you don't have to get up at 5am. You can do these concepts at any time of the day that works best for you. I would recommend doing them in the morning. So whether that's at 7am or whatever, but if you are more of an evening person or have more time during the daytime, do it. Do it when suits you, because that's what my podcast is all about. It's all about turning small moments into bigger movements. So really choosing what works for you. My coaching style is all about catering to your needs and really empowering you to make the choices that you feel are going to work in your life. So choosing when you do these 3 strategies that I'm just about to cover is the first step. It's really important that you really want to engage in these 3 concepts, because if you are dragging your ass out of bed at 5am and you're like, I hate this, Leanne. Why is she telling me to do this? This is not working for me. So really making sure that you're actually picking a time that is going to work for you. So the 5am Club is based on a concept that is also known as the 20-20-20 model. So the 20-20-20 model is basically engaging in 3 different activities within the hour. So 20 minutes of reflection, 20 minutes of growth, and 20 minutes of movement. And that is it. That is the 5am Club. That's the secret out. That is the full concept. So let's dive in a little bit more around how this can really help you. So in terms of the concept, this 5am Club book really blew things out of the water. It became really, really popular, and so many people started using it because the effects it has on certainly me as an individual and on others is so friggin' powerful. Let me list you some people that actually use the 5am Club's principles. So we have Michelle Obama. We have Kris Jenner, Jennifer Aniston, Khloe Kardashian, Gwyneth Paltrow. We also have Robin Sharma himself, the author of the 5am Club, who really honed in on this concept. And he is a really successful author, but also an event speaker. So Robin has spoke at a number of different events. He spoke for Nike or Nike, whichever team you're in, Nike or Nike, Microsoft, FedEx, NASA, and Yale University, just to name a few. He's one of the world's top leading gurus in terms of a growth mindset. So he really knows his stuff. And having really explored the 5am concepts, I really notice a difference in my lifestyle when I use them versus when I don't. So if I'm not being super disciplined, or if I'm out with my routine, or if I've had a few wines, the night before, which sometimes happens, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I don't get up at 5am and I just sack off these 3 concepts, and I really notice the difference when I don't engage in them. I become more lethargic, less energized, less motivated, less disciplined. I carry a bit of shame and guilt because I'm like, I know how effective the 5am club module is. Why did I not engage in it today? That's just frustrated me a bit. So it can really help to reflect on the difference it has within your life when you do use the 5am concepts versus when you don't. So let's dive into these concepts I keep going on about. So the first one, and you can do them in different orders, choose the one that works for you. The first one is to engage in some self-reflection. So I would personally recommend doing this first, just because that's something that works for me. But also, when you wake up, your brain is naturally very relaxed. It's an alpha state, that's what they would call it. So very relaxed, and when you're relaxed, your brain tends to be more creative. That's why we dream when we sleep. Our brain just kind of knows no limits and just goes for it. So because when we wake up, we've still got aspects of alpha state within us, within our brain, self-reflection comes with more ease. So I personally would start with self-reflection. 2 ways to do this can be, there's so many different ways, but one really good effective way would be journaling. So there's a couple of different ways that you can journal. You can do a bit of just a brain dump, everything that's on your head, write down on a piece of paper, look at it later, see if there's anything, that you're going to utilise, whether it's for your business, for your work, for your personal life, for setting goals, for achieving them. You can also do expressive writing or free writing. So that's basically challenging yourself to write consecutively without stopping for, say, 5 minutes a day. So that's quite similar to the brain dumping one. So just writing everything down, but it's a little bit more sort of task orientated in terms of giving yourself that set amount of time to do it in. The other way could be to have a bit more of a structure. So an example could be writing 3 things that you want to do today, 3 gratitudes, and 3 manifestations. So just whatever you feel works for you. It's okay to just try and test them out. Just see what works for you. Another way to engage in self-reflection is meditation. And meditation can be done in so many different ways. You can listen to guided meditations. You can just sit and be still for a little bit. Pay attention to the thoughts that are, circulating in your head. Sometimes just taking 3 deep breaths as well can really help just to kind of be really present, engage in a bit of mindfulness. So lots of different ways to engage in reflection, but I would really encourage you to do that for 20 minutes. As I say, I would recommend to do that one first as soon as you wake up, but this is your life. You choose when you are going to engage in reflection. when it's going to be most effective. A lot of people like to journal before they go to bed, so it could be then. It could be after your working day, so you're doing a bit of a debrief. So you choose what's best for you and try and test all of these out. You don't have to get it right the first time. Second one is movement. So self-explanatory, move your body, and you can be as creative as possible. You can go out for a walk, you can do some yoga, you can do some morning stretches or evening stretches. You can, I know a few people who just put music on and just dance for 20 minutes. That's really high energy. It gets body moving, it gets the mood going. So definitely recommend that one. I love doing that in the mornings. You could go to the gym. Just whatever you feel is going to work for you. So 20 minutes of that. And once again, this is not, I'm not prescriptive. If you want to do longer, if you want to do shorter, you do you. So 20 minutes of movement or thereabouts. And then the final one is growth. So this is working on your growth mindset and really expanding your skill set, your knowledge, your hobbies, your engagement with your hobbies. So this one can be really helpful to almost have a bit more of a structure, a bit more of a plan. So it could be dedicating 20 minutes to studying something that you're really enjoying doing. It could be 20 minutes of reading a book that's really informative, 20 minutes of a podcast. Oh my gosh, you could listen to this because usually I go over my 15 minutes because I can talk for Scotland. You could listen to this episode as one of your growth activities per day. How amazing is that? You could spend 20 minutes doing a bit of a vision board, 20 minutes doing an online course, 20 minutes doing research. You see what I mean? There's so much out there that you can really choose. And my main piece of advice would be choose what you enjoy. If you hate going to the gym, don't go to the gym. If you hate journaling, don't journal. I'm not going to say if you hate listening to me, but if you hate reading books, don't. Choose the 3 things that you actually enjoy doing and that you want to do and that really brings benefit to your life. Because this has to work in a way that feels right for you. So I really hope you do choose me as part of the growth mindset task. But if you don't, hey, that's all good. It's all about you. It's not about me. So that is the 3 ways to elevate your life. So yeah, let me know how you get on. Let me know what you do for self-reflection. Let me know what you do for your movement. Keep it clean, guys. Let me know what you do in terms of growth and supporting your mindset. Every day is a school day. I know that's really cheesy to say sometimes, but I really enjoy hearing other people's perspectives, hearing what worked for them, letting me know that this stuff is actually really helping you and is causing a positive change in your life. So make sure you link in with me, whether it's on socials or in the comments, on the review section. Yes, definitely stay in touch and let me know how you get on with the 5am Club 2020 concepts. And yeah, make sure you tune in to next week's episode. Super grateful for you taking the time to listen to this episode, and I can't wait to see you next week. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Turning Moments into Movements. Why not check out coaching opportunities with me so you can really begin to enhance your moments into huge movements and begin to live the life you never thought possible? Details are in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, leave a review and share this episode. Remember to also follow me on social media platforms through my handle Happyluya, where you will receive additional daily content. And finally, make sure you join us next week for more tips on how you can turn your small moments into life-changing movements.